All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to Grown Man Business. This is episode 3. Again, this is almost like Seinfeld, the show about nothing. We're just going to talk about whatever kind of pops up as we go. So, if you don't know where Grown Man Business comes from, watch the movie ATL. You'll see my boy Big Boy. I said my boy like we really cool. You'll see Big Boy say it. Hey, this is Grown Man Business. Again, just 240 something year olds talking about life and talk about life and what's going on. So what's good with you, Sean? Episode 3,
Damn.
baby.
Randolph, we're back, baby. We're back. Episode 3, man. Hopefully this is the third one of 3 million to go.
Yeah, yeah,
We,
yeah.
we talk about absolutely nothing and everything at the same time. If people
Yeah,
was listening to our phone conversations, like these two motherfuckers don't talk about nothing, but it'd be 2 hours of nothing. So we decided to give y'all a little snippet of what it is we be talking about. Now sometimes, the conversations be deep and what would you do in this situation, advice, hey, how's your kids, how's your how's life, man, like what's going on with life. Nobody's got this shit
Yeah,
figured out. We just try to take the best information we have and push forward. So hopefully, we can give y'all some advice and shit, maybe we can take some advice from y'all.
absolutely. So man, this episode, like we're just gonna talk about parenting. We were just talking on the phone.
Fuck
What's
them
your
kids.
thoughts? Huh? What's your thoughts on the old saying, spare the rod, spoil the child? Now I
I'm
know this
all
is
for it.
controversial. Well,
I'm all
okay,
for
wait a minute. All for what?
it. Not sparing that rod.
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
That means, hey, if I got to tap that ass, I got to tap that ass.
Okay, where's that line? Where's the line of okay, I am disciplining my child
so
versus
so
you
for
remember the whole
me,
Adrian Peterson thing? Like,
all
where
right,
does it become abuse?
the line for me is when it comes to parenting, is this a teachable moment or do we just got to get right into the hey man, you did like words are not going to I feel like the words I'm about to give you are probably I've used these words before, so you're not getting the words. You're
Okay,
you're not you're not taking heed to the words and the advice and the criticism and what I'm telling you here. So we're gonna have to try alternative methods. I'm just not going straight to I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, okay, what did you do? You did what? All right. Now, let me preface that by saying being a 44-year-old father and a 22-year-old father
right.
is a big learning curve. Like you're supposed to learn every day, right? You're supposed to learn. So when I was younger, having kids at an early age, I had my first kid. I was 16, about to be 17. So
Yeah,
all I could take with me to the discipline side was what I got taught. Because I didn't. That's all you know is what you got taught.
yeah. And for everybody here, real quick, just to kind of set the table, we both grew up in households with parents that spanked or whooped or whatever you want to call it,
Put
right?
the paws on you.
You put the balls on. Yeah,
Put
we
the
both
paws on
grew up.
you.
And again, that's the if you were 80s, 90s kids, that was pretty normal. It was pretty normal for most kids at that point in time when you did something wrong to get a whooping, to get spanked, get the paws put on you, whatever the case may be. But again, back to respect any parent. And again, we're not, whatever works for you and your household. I am a parent, Sean's a parent, but we're not the experts.
I mean,
But
if it works for you, right? If it work, if non-violence works for you and it works for the kid, right?
right, Martin.
Like you might just have a kid that gets it the first time. Like, hey, don't do that.
Mhm.
Okay, Dad, I'm not going to do that. But you might have a kid that no, you got to. Okay, you a habitual line stepper, so we're gonna go
But
to the
now
next
let's
level.
go into, because as a kid, when you was getting whooped, did you ever think like, damn, I'm getting this whooping? I don't think this required a whooping.
So for me, it's a little different. I'm just sitting here flashing back to some of them. I wouldn't call them whippings. They was fucking beatings. It was beatings. And even looking back on it, like I don't think I ever like if and everybody was the greatest when they was younger. But if you ask my mama, she'll tell you I was not a bad kid. Like I skipped school. You did the little,
Went
but
to the
I
middle
ain't
school.
steal no motherfucking cars, and I ain't robbing no, like I ain't doing the shit to get like, damn, like you should have whooped my ass for that one. Like, even looking back, like, but I got the paws put on me. I mean, like, I got whipped in the shower with the water on, and I was naked. It was wet, and it was hot, and it hurt with a belt.
So, okay. So would you call, being honest now, and we ain't calling nobody out, I don't know what the statute of limitation is. Would you call the discipline you got as a kid abuse? And what I'll ask you is, how would you differentiate that between, let's say you had a young child now and what you would do?
Yeah, so like so now like you become immune to certain, to whippings, right? Like if oh no, I'm gonna get the belt, I'm gonna get about 6, 7 lashes on my ass. I can deal with that, right? But I used to get whipped like, hey, lay across the bed, look the other way so you don't see it coming. And I'm like, the anticipation of that motherfucker was worse than the hits. Like, I'm flinching and I don't know if it's coming. Like, oh shit, there you go. I wasn't ready. Like, I used to get like punched in the corner, like, and I, in my mind was like, hit him back, but my body was like, he gonna hit you harder if you hit him back. So, and then I remember one time I got punched and was getting punched in the corner, and then when he had got done, he's like, now pray about what you did. I'm praying you die. That's what I'm praying for. I pray you die. And it was some of them whippings to where you go in the room and you pack a suitcase, and then you hear him and you unpack the suitcase like, I'm finna get another whipping. But you like, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. And you 13. Like, where the fuck you going? But that's the kind of, like, so I didn't get whippings. I got beatings. So to me, like,
it was out of anger. It wasn't out of
anger. It wasn't out of
okay.
teeth. So and I fell victim to that when I became a parent, because I was like, well, this is what you're supposed to do. So I did that, but now as 44, you're like, yo, there's another way. Like let's say I had a brand new bouncing baby boy right now, right?
Okay.
And let's just say I've taught him the great morals and values and everything growing up. And let's say, I'm not going to whoop your ass for getting an F in class. You know what I'm saying? School ain't for everybody. So we're going to sit there. We're going to talk about, like, explain to me what you're not getting, or do you not want to get it? Like, what is it? But let's say I come home from work and your mama, hey, Junior, I need you to take out the trash. I ain't taking out shit. Time for talk. You did the talking. You just did the talking. Now it's time for me to do the acting. You did the talking already.
Now I'm not a big and obviously again, 3 children of my own. I wasn't a big whooper. I'm not gonna say that things didn't get physical, grab them or whatever, but I wasn't a big whooper because I didn't like whoopings. But I agree. There's a difference between a child mistake and disrespect. I am a big proponent.
Right.
Disrespect to me.
If you don't know, and a child's behavior is reflective on how you raise them. Right. So if you got a disrespectful ass child, what are you allowing? Are you allowing that? If you don't stop that right there, like, because the child's going to say some stuff that you don't know where he picked it up from, heard it at school. Mm-hmm. And you come home and say something to his sister or your mother or you, and maybe they thought that, hey, fuck you say? And you got to let it be, hey, this ain't playtime. We don't talk like, and then they do it again. All right, they testing you. They trying you. They want to see, well, is he really going to do something? That when you got to do something. Now, I ain't saying you got to slap him in the face, but you got to let the, hey, like.
And I think that's let me say again, growing up in a house, or raising kids in a house so I am physically bigger than my boys. And I'll say this as a boy who mostly grew up with my mother in the house. There's a point in time with your mother where you're just like, I'm physically bigger than her.
That shit don't affect me no more.
You can do. I'm, playing sport, playing football. There's nothing you're gonna do. And so the only reason I'm listening to you at this point is out of respect. Now, again, I know your situation is a little bit different, but
so the thing, so like my mother's probably comes up to my chest.
Yeah.
But, growing up, you start smelling yourself, 13, preteen, you're like, and she might hit you, but it didn't hurt. You're like, oh, this is the best you got? But that phrase, wait till so-and-so get home. And they like, oh.
Yeah.
I forgot you could tell. So listen, funny story, right? So my mother's husband, I guess you call him my stepfather, whatever you want to call him, the man that was doing the beating. Now, I don't want nobody to look this up and somebody get arrested. All right?
I got you.
So he was, in the military. So that they go and do deployments and everything. So I'm treating Shirley like not physically, but I'm just like nah. Whole time she writing letters.
Smelling yourself. Oh.
Because I'm like, oh, you gone for 6 months? I'm the man around here. Writing letters. I remember it like it was yesterday, and this was like 30 years ago, right? The Knicks was playing the Rockets in the finals, 1994, right? Okay. The game was on, and his deployment was over, and he came home. So he said, hey, go in my sea bag and grab me them letters. I'm thinking, okay, you got some letters. You want me to grab the letters?
I got you. Yeah, easy.
I handed him the letters. He started reading the part that my mama had wrote him about what I was doing. I said, oh, and I look at her like, you fucking snitch. But, so there was a knock at the door.
This is about to go bad.
I'm like, it's about to go bad right now. A knock at the door. It was a friend of his. He's like, hey, man, I finna go up to the sports bar and catch this game. You trying to roll? I'm like, whoo. I made it another night. Nah, I got something to handle at the house. I'm something at the house. Oh, that was the night. Lay across the bed and look the other way. That was that night. So
wait a minute. You say you earned that one.
I would have been okay with an ass whooping, but don't lay across the bed. That's a borderline mental torture as well as physical. Like if you would have gave me the ass whooping, like, all right, man, I disrespected my mother. Cool, I got to eat this. At 14, you don't think you got to eat. Like, man, I deserve that one. Especially lay across the bed and don't look. Because it got to the point to where my mama was like, hey, that's enough. Like, what the fuck you doing? Like,
okay.
Yeah, so.
And I say, so this has been, because I would say with our living situation, my kids growing up, I was probably the nicer parent. But because I'm physically bigger, they would, and especially, like I said, my boys, because there was a point where they were like, okay, I'm bigger than them. And like they would think, oh, I'm asleep or something like that, or I'm not home yet. And you hear them kind of,
get a little mouthy.
Just those ones like boys. And I'd say, hey, I'm not going to name my kids, but I call one of them, oh, shoot.
I didn't know you were home. Oh,
right.
Damn.
Or I didn't know he was up. And then it would automatically. And again, I think that's the. Now again, I'm not going to go into your situation, and maybe that was a little bit overboard. But I think as a kid who grew up with mostly my mom in the house, there was a point in time where it was just I'm only doing things right because hey, I don't want to make things a little harder on you because I have, and we will probably talk deeply about my mom. My mom can be as mean as can be, but there was a point where I'm just bigger than her. Like there's nothing about you that's physically intimidating to me. You can yell, scream, but you can't beat me up. I'm bigger than you. So having that father figure was important. And I think it was important. I think my boys would say, yeah, I knew I could push the line, even though my mother was a little bit meaner because I'm not physically intimidated by her. The same things that they would possibly try to get away with, the sucking of the teeth. Well, and again, my kids were very good. It was never anything super disrespectful, but hey, go clean up your room and the sucking of the teeth and the dragging of feet and they would never do that with me because I'm physically bigger than them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So my kids now are about to be 28 and just turned 22, like last month. So now, like, obviously you can't discipline them. Like, hey, man, it's your life, do what you want to do. So now I'm in the role of, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm trying to do this. So now I'm just advice,
Yeah.
If you need someone to I think kids forget, like it's a cycle. We forget that our parent was once our age.
Yeah.
And like when we tell them stuff, and I try to tell them, like, I'm not trying to stop your fun. I'm just trying to stop anything bad that could possibly go wrong. Because you looking at the situation like this. I've already been there, so now I see it like what could. Hey, look, listen. I know that's a nice car. I know you want it and everything. Do you even know what the fuck an interest rate is? Do you know what hey, the insurance is? Hey, I'm just giving you the information. You can make whatever decision you want. I'm just here to, hey, if I was you, but I'm not you, but just know this grown man business. When you sign that
This
lease,
grown man
this
business.
grown man business.
Yeah.
So when you say, yeah, I want this car and it's 5,000 down and it's 800 a month, this grown man business. Don't come to me, man. I can't make the car payment. This grown man business.
So I think as you become a parent, especially in a parent to adults, that role change, right? I am here as hopefully, because I want my kids to win, just like I know you want your kids to win. I'm here to hopefully be a fountain of wisdom between all the things I've experienced. I obviously work with a bunch of young people as well, things I've seen. So I can try to help put you in a position to win. And I think, and I'll tell you, this is a struggle I have with my kids as well. I don't think they always get that. They think, just like you said, oh, dad's he don't want us to have fun. He don't want me to. No, I'm trying to tell you, and I'll give you a perfect example. And I won't put his name out there, but one of my sons, he wants to buy this car. I'm telling him, hey, you probably only need a car about $10,000, $7,000 somewhere in there. A A to B car, something nice, something reliable. He decides he needs some sort of, he's into Hellcats and SRTs and all that. He needs
Yeah,
some sort of
got to have it.
Charger or Challenger or something. Now, this car is literally right now, he is overly upside down on a car that has I think 200,000 miles or somewhere near 200,000 miles on it. Can't get out of it. But again, now it's, oh, Dad, I see what you were saying. And sometimes that feels good, but sometimes it's like, hey, if you would have just listened to me, we wouldn't
Hey,
have been in this
I'm gonna tell
situation.
you what Shirley P used to tell me.
But I
Learn,
already know, but
learn young, learn fair. Hey, you
what
made
does
that
that mean
bed.
to
You
you?
learn young, learn fair. Like, listen, just like your story right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you gonna learn from this. It's better to learn this shit now than if I keep coming and saving you, you're not gonna learn. So,
Yeah.
hey, you got to eat that. I bet you won't do it again.
Here's the thing: I would never let my son or any of my kids actually be in trouble. But yeah, in this situation, he has something. And again, I try to stay not too personal, but he has something with that car where, hey, Dad, can I borrow $400? No, I told you not to get the car, right? And the reason
No,
I told
learn
you
young,
to
learn
get a
fair.
car in your price range is because things like this come up with cars. Cars require maintenance. So it's not just a $200 or $500 payment. It's, are you getting your oil changed? Are you, routine maintenance stuff that comes up that
You
happens
need
with
new
cars.
tires. You need this
Right.
flush. You need that. Yeah, you
So
need
that's
all
the
that.
part now of being a parent is, hey, you're an adult. And like you said, live your life and I'm here to support you. And at the end of the day, make your own decisions. This is grown man business.
Grown man business.
But like you said, hey, I'm not here just to bail you out from bad decisions. I'm here. I'll never let you be in a place where you're really truly hurt. Your needs are not being met. But there are going to be some times where, hey, you need to feel the pain of your decision because if it's always, oh, I make a bad decision, dad or mom bail me out. I make a bad decision, then you're never going to pick up that lesson because you always got that safety net. Sometimes you need to experience falling a little bit to be like, oh, okay, I guess I better. Ah, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, learn young, learn fair. I can't stress enough. Not everybody believes in that saying that but I believe in it. Like I have fallen on my face plenty of times, and yes, Shirley has helped me out. But the way I work is once I've fallen, I don't fall the same way twice. Like I
Right.
fell, and like with a little help, yes, I pulled myself up. But for like I'm if you're the same dude you was at 20 or 44, then you wasted 20 years of your life. You ain't learned from not one of your mistakes, because everybody's gonna make them. And it could be with all the best intentions that I'm making this decision, and damn, it didn't work out. Caught from the blind side with this or that. Okay, well, we won't make that same mistake again. So, and me and my kids have a fractured relationship. I'm not going to get into all that. And I think they think I'm full of shit. I'm trying to, like I said, stop their fun. But I want my kids to be whatever they want to be in life. Like if you want, and I tell them, you get one crack at this thing. Go do what makes you happy, right? If you want to get out the military, or you want to go to college, or you want to move to Washington, or you want to open a fucking ant farm, if it makes you happy, go for it. Because you don't have to impress me. You don't have to impress your mother. You don't need my. Go do whatever it is you want to do. It's that simple.
Because being 20, getting advice from my parent, I didn't always take that advice either. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt the same way. So I understand it now, being 44 and being in both pair of shoes, the young person getting that advice, and you're like, yo, mom trying to, she don't want me to really go out and live my life.
My mama still give me the same advice today when I was 20. Like, hey, be careful out there. Hey, make sure you got a rubber on. Wear your seatbelt. Like all this, like still from 20 to 44, you know, and I started wearing my seatbelt. I ain't got the rubber thing down pat, but I still put the seatbelt. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
It's crazy now as we get a little older, right? And you see it, we could talk about it in so many facets, but like it's that full circle moment of now I'm giving the advice to my kids that my mother gave to me that I didn't listen to, that my kids are not listening to. And they're probably going to have that same moment when they hit their 30s, 40s. It's crazy, just that circle of life. And I can see why my mom may have been so frustrated, because I'm frustrated. Like, listen, I'm not trying to stop you from living your life. I'm only trying to take the life lessons that I've learned and try to help you navigate this a little bit. I want you to go farther than me. I'm not one of those parents that I'm in competition with my kids. I absolutely hope that everything that I've learned, everything that I've been able to acquire,
pass it on
your path.
Yeah. Mine wasn't always just advice. So growing up, when I was old enough to do chores, I was like the male version of motherfucking Cinderella, right? So I don't know what that name is, but so like I had a chore sheet, and you would think that we lived in a mansion or something. Like, 'cause I like Monday, sweep and mop, laundry, dishes, trash, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, man. The next day, polishing, ironing. I'm like, God damn, and it was everybody's clothes. Like it was just iron mine. Like I'm like, man, what the fuck you think I'm a child? Anyway, regardless, going through all that shit, you're like, man, this is some fucking bullshit. And I ain't even had no allowance. Like I wasn't getting paid for this. So
this is all for free. Wait a minute. You have room and board, you had clothing, food.
I didn't ask to be here. You had me. So regardless, right? So getting older, and I had young, like I'm the oldest, so I had a bunch of younger ones. So I was changing diapers, babysitting, making formula, like so. But getting older, I know how to do everything. Like I don't need anybody. I don't need to pay somebody to come clean. I don't need to pay somebody to come cook. I could do a lot of shit that you would deem as feminine, like sewing clothes. Like I could do all that shit because like working the sewing machine. Like I could do all that shit because you got younger brothers and sisters, and you know money wasn't extravagant. Hey, you got to put a hem in them pants. Your brother got to wear them. You know, like whatever it is. Hey, get your daddy's corduroys and take the hem out the bottom of them. And so I know how to do all that.
Now a little bit older, do you see what your parents were trying to impart?
Now, hopefully that was the intention, and now I got free fucking labor in the house.
Free labor.
Hopefully, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, they was preparing me for life, but secretly I was like, get that, hey,
Hey, man, hey, where we want to go? He can babysit. He can
We got a
cook. He can
babysitter.
clean.
Hey, let's make a mess in the kitchen. We got old goddamn Danny dishwasher over there. Shit, he'll do the dishes. But now, like, so it was do the dishes, clean off the countertop, sweep the floor, mop the floor, get the trash out. I do that today in my house. Like when I clean the kitchen. I do laundry. I've met some young people and they like, I don't know how to do laundry. And you like, what the fuck do you like? What do you mean you don't know? I never was taught how to do laundry. Like, and
yeah.
I can see today where damn both parents got to work to make ends meet. So the kids is raising themselves. So on TV, there's not, hey kids, this is how you ain't nobody turning into that shit. Ain't nobody trying to watch that. So when they get out on their own, they don't know that they sign in a lease on an apartment. They don't know how to go get their electricity turned on in their name. They don't know how to, hey man, you know you need an oil change. Hey man, you know you got to rotate. Like they have no guidance. Hey man, that's why you see a lot of undereducated kids in that regard. Not, they might be book smart as hell, but they got no common sense on, hey man, if that man said he's got puppies in the back of a van, he does not have puppies in the back of that van. Don't get in the van.
You see that line between, because I know you and Shirley have a great relationship where you can really talk to her about everything. Where's that line to you as a parent between being a friend and being a parent?
So now that they are grown, like I said, me and my kids' relationship was fractured. And I ain't going to get into all that because that's probably another podcast. But so now, it depends. I let them lead the conversation. Do you want a friend or do you want some advice? So I have a son and a daughter, right? The son is the oldest. So, he'll ask for advice. Sometimes he uses it. Sometimes he's like, go fuck your life. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. My daughter, like, now it's hard to talk to a daughter when they're not an adult about sex and things like that. But now that she's grown and I understand you are 22, you have a boyfriend. I'm not an idiot. I know you're having sex. I'm like, hey, are you on the birth control? Like we having them conversations now because like this grown man business. You are an adult. Like you're gonna make your own decision. But if you need, I know you're gonna get most of the advice from your mother because you're a woman and that's probably where you go to. But I'm gonna give you from the male's point of view on how guys operate, how they think, how like you are a young female. You went to the Navy earlier. You go into a ship where it's motherfucking cocks and socks. You need some advice. I'm gonna tell you. What is this guy that? Let me tell you what that guy's trying. Like I'm gonna give you the game from a guy's point of view, right? And what you do with that is on you. But I'm not gonna send you out there with fucking blinders on. So if you want advice or you want, like, I keep it real with my kids. That saying, I keep it real. Like, no, I tell them, hey, look here, them ain't your friends. I straight up tell you, hey, that ain't your friend. Because they in the forest, I can see the forest. Hey man. And I had a conversation with my son. I said, are you their friend or are they your friend? Right? Like you running this race of life. Do you have to keep slowing down and helping them keep up with you? Or is that stopping you from getting to the finish line or whatever goal you're chasing? Because if it is, then hey man, them ain't your friends. Like me and you, for example, right? I brag about you all the motherfucking time.
Well, I appreciate that.
Like we both started from the same. We're not going to sing the song started from the bottom, but from the same infrastructure, same lifestyle, same, growing up, same neighborhood, same area. And to see, like, I tell, hey man, my buddy, man, he's still in the military, man. He's motherfucking, like, he can call the president. I might be lying, but still, I tell him he knows the president. So, and when people be at the job talking about the military, like, yeah, I'm like, they don't want it with us because Calvin told me they don't want it with us, and he would know.
But yeah, I would say you are very safe if you're American. You are very safe.
Yeah, I mean, I brag on you all the time. I mean, from being 17 to now 44 to accomplish what you've accomplished in your career, and we've talked. You've given up sacrifices for the family to get there, and we can't go back and be like, oh man, we can't. So you just keep pushing forward and just keep doing the best that we can as a parent. Ain't no perfect parent, you know. And now that I'm older, I've had them conversations with my mother about, you know, like we said on the last podcast, like maybe you should have did this different, you know, maybe that would have worked, or maybe this would have worked. But we only do what we know, you know, like what we were taught. Unless you go to some class, some seminar, and you want to change, then you go search alternative ways of parenting, you know. If the talking ain't working for you and you don't want to discipline, then okay, maybe I need to start, you know, taking away gaming systems or phone privileges, or, you know your friends can't come over and all, you know, and the kids are going to hate you. You know, the kids are going to like, well, they'll say I hate you, but they're just mad they can't get their way. But you got to stand your ground. Like, hey, no, listen, until I feel like you learned this lesson. Because now my mama had some lackadaisical times. Like I remember we had got caught skipping school, and then that same night I spent the night at your house. Like, you know, like we got caught ridiculously skip. Like we're not going to get into it because we got caught. Like you ain't like, what the fuck are you two doing? Yeah, we skipped high school and went to the middle school. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Like, but
I don't know what we was thinking. It was
so now. First of all, so like I said, back to the origin of this story. 44, like if I had a 13, 14-year-old, you skipping school. Listen, man, this is how you do it. All right? I'm gonna tell you how to skip school. But don't do the shit. You can ask me to stay home. You ain't got to go out there and get fucking arrested or, hey, Dad, look here, man, I ain't feeling it today. I get that. I don't feel like going to work. I call out. It's the same thing in school. Hey, man, I ain't going today.
Be comfortable now having conversations about sex with your 16-year-old daughter.
Say what?
Would you be comfortable now having conversations about sex with your 16-year-old daughter?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
See, I'm not gonna lie. And again, I have a daughter who's in her early adulthood, and that's still one, like we can talk about a lot. That's still one of them ones that I feel a little uncomfortable with.
And this the way I look at it though. I'd rather have this uncomfortable moment now than an uncomfortable, Dad, I'm pregnant and we never talked about nothing.
Or something. Yeah. No.
Let's be embarrassed now. So if it gets to that point, at least you have some type of, like, you got something to say. But Dad said, make sure he's got a condom. Or Dad said, hey, don't, instead of, I didn't know, we never talked about it. So now I'm pregnant and I don't know his name. Or, you know, whatever the case may be. Just like, let's be uncomfortable. Because they'll thank you later on in life because that decision, that's going to pop up. Underage sex, I mean, who the fuck waits till they're adult anymore? Like, we didn't.
That's the tough part. It's one of those ones that I think we all know. Like I said, I try to, I don't want to say avoid it. With my boys, it was head on. Because for me, that's easy.
You try to avoid it because you don't want to think that it's happening, but it's happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I think, you know, for all of us, I think we got to live in realism as parents. And you got to say, hey, there's a high possibility. Again, I'm not going to, but I didn't wait till I was married or 18 or whatever, right? Most people are in their adolescence and their teenage years, they're doing those things. So yeah, as tough as it is, and as tough as it has been, and like I said, my daughter's, you know, in her early adulthood, it's still one of it. Yeah, I agree with you. It's one of those things you just got to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and push through.
Learn young, learn fair, baby.
Here you go. That's gonna be the name of this episode. Shirley P's Principles.
Learn young, learn fair. Have that awkward conversation, man. Have it, because I'd rather have an awkward conversation than I'm scared to tell my dad I'm pregnant, or, you know.
So you want to be one of those parents that, again, even in adolescence, your kids can come talk to you about anything.
Yes, I want, like, so I was, listen, man, I talk, listen, don't tell nobody I said this, all right? So when I was younger and I had a bump on the tip of my nose, and I showed my mama, I was like 15, 16. It's like, Mama, what the fuck is this? Don't tell nobody that, all right? So hold on, but listen, check it out. It wasn't an STD, right? So my mama used to have these big MetaQuest books with like everything that was in them.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So it was like a heat bump. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I was like, Mama, what is this? Like, what's
Wait,
that?
wait a minute. You showed your mom the book. I guess she's your mama, but you're like, Mom, look at this.
Mama, what's this? And she pulled out the book and said, that's a heat bump. I was like, okay, well, how do you get rid of it? I put a little ointment on the cream, you know, maybe your drawers are too tight, or, you know, you're sweating too much, you know, whatever. Take more showers, whatever it was.
Back then, huh?
I mean, you wear what your parents bought you. You wore what your parents bought you. We ain't had no money. I ain't had no job.
So you've always felt like you could talk to Shirley about anything.
About anything. So I want my kids to be able to talk to me about anything, because, like, I don't know what it would be like to not have somebody to talk to about shit that, like, even now, like, I talk to my mom about God and about life and about, just because I know that's one person that is going to give me the answer, whether I like the answer or not.
The raw and uncut.
She's not going to give me the answer to suffice me. Like, yeah, I feel good about that. Like, hey, no, that's wrong. But I think, hey, I'm telling, okay. Now, I take what she tells me, and I either roll with it or roll the dice. So when I got married, you know, I grew up in that household where everything had to be done a certain way, right? Okay. This is how you fold the towels. This is how you put the dishes in the dishwasher. So when you join with another partner who was taught a different way to do this, at 22, you're like, no, but my parents can't be wrong. Like, it has to be like this. So we would butt head, and then as you get older, you're like, 7 plus 2 and 4 plus 5 both get you to 9. So now, let me meet a chick and she put the dish. I'm just happy you putting the dishes in. You doing the dishes. Do them however you want to. I ain't got to do them. Listen, I use the word bitch a lot, but I mean it in the term of endearment.
You're very true. I think, so I was talking to my oldest son, and again, and he was talking about Christmas. Right now, he has his own family. He's married, and they're doing their own thing. And I told him, hey, it's very important that maybe you look at traditions of how you grew up. Your wife look at traditions of how she grew up. But at the end of the day, you make your own traditions, right? You do what works best for y'all, not what works best for how we did it or what works best for how she did it. This is your family, your traditions. Hopefully some of that stuff rubs off. Yeah. Hopefully some of that stuff. Yeah.
Well, you start your own. Like, hey, man, we doing I hated Christmas, man. Growing up, I hated Christmas, man. I don't have like one good memory of Christmas in my life. And that's why I don't really fuck with Christmas now, man. And the kids be like, what you want? What you want? Like, I grew up never feeling like I was good enough to get gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't what's the word I'm looking for? Like, man, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve gifts like that. Like, even on birthdays, that my kids will tell you, this motherfucker is the hardest motherfucker to shop for. Because I'm like, they say, what do you want? And the word want to me, want and need is like, well, I don't want you to spend money on me. I don't feel like I deserve for you to spend money on me. So growing up, Christmas, right, with a stepfather, like, you know how the idea of Christmas, you wake up, you run downstairs, you snatch open the wrapping paper, and look what I got, this and that. This motherfucker here, we would have to get up, get dressed, have the biggest breakfast, like Shoney's style buffet. Again, I got to wash all the fucking dishes. Before we even get to the presents, it's damn near 10 o'clock. People knocking the door. What'd you get? I don't know, man. It's damn near New Year's. I still ain't got to the fucking presents yet, man. To the point where, like, man, I don't want nothing. I don't even want no breakfast. Because I don't want to do no fucking dishes. Like, so I never had a good memory of Christmas. Like, it was.
I don't say. First to my parents, I've had the exactly what you talked about. Wake up first thing in the morning, run down to the Christmas tree, see how many presents are there. So yeah, good fortune. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I did have that. I'm not gonna say I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I like, and no. So like, the more and more that we do these podcasts, you're gonna get more and more of my backstory of why things were the way they were, And because I know people are probably thinking like, damn, your mama didn't do like it. When we're gonna get into all that a little bit more, but Christmas, birthdays, like there was no music going on in the house. So you know, my love language is quality time, right? And I used to beg and beg and beg and beg and beg for quality time. Now I would get it with my mama when she wasn't working, but it was kind of like, why you always with your mama? Why you always hanging around your mama? First off, I've known my mother my whole life. It was me and her. It was me and my mama. You came in the picture. I'm 8, 9 years old. You think I'm just going to like, all right, mom, I'm gone. Like, I tried to get, some guidance, some attention, some older wisdom from you. You wanted nothing to do with me. So why would I not continue doing what I'm doing? So then I found like older guys to hang out with, no homo, but it was like older role models.
No, so father figures that you can get invited.
Yeah, like father figures that can show me how to shoot a jump shot, how to do this, how to like, hey man, talk about girls.
Adult male, I don't want to say attention because that sounds bad, but
role model.
Like everybody watching this, a caring father figure.
Yeah. Like every boy, listen, I don't care, and I argue this till I'm blue in the face. Every boy needs a male older figure in their life.
And this is probably going to be controversial. I believe, and I'm not going to say you can't succeed without it, but I believe every kid needs somebody in that father role and that mother role. I think you have
a good mother and father role. Yeah.
Yes. To see that relationship, that should be, and again, if it's a good relationship, that should be the relationship that you're saying. Because again, and I'm not going to tell you I know all the facts on this, but I believe I've read somewhere that when there's dysfunctional or abusive relationship between a mother and father, the kids are more likely to also abuse or be abused because that becomes normal to them. So I think it's important that they see love between the two parents, but it's also important for, and I'm going to say for a girl to feel, hey, the love of a man. So I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to be funny, but when you look at or you hear the stories of a lot of these girls who are strippers or porn stars or whatever, a lot of them, it ties directly back to a bad relationship with their father. I'm not saying that's the only reason.
No, that's not the only reason, but that is definitely a reason. Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's important for a girl to see their mother love properly, and for a boy to see his father love a woman. Like, hey man, this is how This is how it's supposed to be done.
Hey, this is how you protect the family. This is how you provide. This is how you chivalry, right? We talk about chivalry is dead, but I think we're also in an era where you're seeing a lot less men in the house.
You're seeing a lot more women be men, and men fall back and try to be like the roles are reversed.
Yeah. We don't dig into that. That's gonna be big. But I truly believe that it is very vital that both, whether you're a girl or a boy, that you have both a female, like I said, because even for a boy, I should have a mother who's kind of showing me what I should be looking for in my spouse, right? Whatever that is, and that should be the person.
They need to see a loving relationship. They need to see that.
Yeah,
they need, and like I said, most boys need to have either a dad, an older brother, an uncle, a grandfather in their life, showing them, hey, this is now a woman. I'm not going to say a woman can't, a single mom can't do a great job with a boy. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is it will only benefit having that positive male role model in their life.
Well, what I will say is, if you're in a single parent home, especially if it's a mother and a boy, then there still needs to be, in some form or fashion, a strong male role model in
somebody somewhere.
Whether that be your grandfather, your uncle, like you said, an older brother,
some pastor, youth center, something.
Yeah. And we can go deep into this, and I'm sure we will. But this is why you see a lot of the kids end up doing some of the things that they're doing in terms of crime, joining gangs, yada yada yada. Because I was seeking a male mentor, and that was the only person who was willing to be my male mentor. So I'm going to fall into doing whatever they're doing
Yeah,
instead
that's
of a
me. Yeah,
positive
I,
mental. Yeah,
I was
and
searching for it, and I found two of them, but stepfather didn't like the fact that I tried to establish that with you to the point now at 44. I'm still looking for that. Like I'm still searching for that because I still got a lot of questions about being a man. I'm not like, oh man, I'm the complete man. I'm perfect. No, I still got shit, man. I still got questions every day about being a better man. You know what I'm saying? Like I see, like I got some older cats at the job. I got some older cats, like that I know. And I look to them like, damn, man, hopefully one day when I'm 56, 57, I can graduate from this step, where I'm at now in life to shit, you doing it at 57. How can I get from 44 to 57 and get to that level? So
yeah.
I can't tell you how to be 57 if I've never been 57. So I'm still looking for that.
Dig into some of these topics, and we are truly thank you guys for being on this ride with us. Like I said, this was truly about parenting, but we gonna title this "Learn Young, Learn
Learn
Fair."
fair.
Always, Sean, great talking to you. What's up, man? Anything for the people before we head up?
Yeah, listen, I don't always call women bitches. And don't call the people. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have the hand over my.
There's a
I'm
statute
okay.
of limitation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't, I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna be okay. So, hey man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's gonna get better. We'll dive in and y'all will find out who we are, what we about. But hey, this grown man business. So please tune in, ask questions. Some of y'all gonna know us. Hell, some of y'all gonna know some of these stories we telling. So we look forward to hearing from y'all, seeing y'all, and we appreciate it, man.
Peace out.